Good morning and welcome to the Motivational Devotional, where we are merging motivation and spirituality to create a daily dose of confident positivity. I hope that this morning's podcast will help you to be more spiritually and positively motivated so that you can transform your day.
Have you ever said that you can't be spiritual because you have too much stuff to do and just don't have time for it? Well, what if you are already doing your spiritual practice? What if the things you did today were actually what you could have done to have a spiritual practice all day long? Would you admit then that if, and only if, that's a big if, that were true, you might really have time to become more spiritual? Well, there is good news for that because we can borrow a concept from Hinduism called karma yoga. This is where the stuff on your plate becomes your spiritual practice and your way of becoming closer to God. You use the curriculum of your life as a way of learning how to be closer to God in the middle of all your stuff to do. You don't have to find separate time to do spiritual stuff. The stuff you're already doing is your spiritual stuff. If you have kids, caring for your kids becomes your practice. If you care for an elderly family member, that process of caring becomes your practice. Now, to be clear, just doing the stuff on your plate doesn't get you closer to God, otherwise you'd already be closer to God. The key to making it a spiritual practice is to be authentic as a spiritual being so that we have no attachments to the outcomes of what we're doing. To do this, we have to be transparent. When we are authentic, we can be completely transparent so that others can hold us accountable. When we are real and not putting up illusions around ourselves, we stand in our authenticity, and in so doing, that transparency lets us add a spiritual layer of awareness over what it is that we're doing. Even when we make mistakes, we treat those as part of the curriculum. Stay transparent and use the lessons to become more authentic. Hiding our mistakes creates more negative feelings, which creates more attachments, which drives wedges between us and God as well as us and others. Those wedges are completely unnecessary and they drag us down, making us miserable. Even in the process of becoming authentic, being transparent will help us find accountability with others in a positive way so that we can wash away what needs to go. One way that I practice this is, for example, doing the dishes. While I'm doing the dishes, I remind myself that God's spiritual presence is around me and within me and empowering me, and therefore God is doing the dishes with me. The same is true if I'm mowing the lawn or vacuuming or shopping. Turn it into a spiritual practice by simply being aware that while you are doing it, God is doing it with you and working through you to do it, and therefore the outcome of whatever you are doing is whatever the universe needs it to be. You don't have to stress about that. You just do the practice because you do the practice. That is all. We will never be perfect, but we can be authentic because we can be transparent. Being transparent goes hand in hand with letting go of what holds us back so that we can be the thriving, happy people we are created to be. So go ahead and be busy, but also be busy being spiritual as well as meeting your responsibilities, and you will find greater peace, greater awareness, and be more grounded because all of creation is conspiring in your favor. Trust that the universe always has your back. Alanis Morissette once said, "I just feel compelled to continue to be transparent. It just really levels the playing field and eradicates the shame that I have or that one might have about being human. So I'm going to just keep going."
Thank you for taking the time to listen today. Please help keep this podcast going by following the Motivational Devotional Facebook page, following @Threefold-Way Radio on Twitter, and sharing the written format of today's message from motivational-devotional.com on your social media. I am deeply grateful for your support, and thank you for letting Motivational Devotional be part of your journey. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Motivational Devotional is a production of Threefold Way Radio, LLC.